the first unit basics of kinematics in the subject mechanics of machine. Friends, the first question is list the different types of constrained motion, explain any one. There are three types of constrained motion. The first one is completely constrained motion, second one is incompletely constrained motion, third one is successfully constrained motion. Explain any one means explain completely constrained motion or incompletely or successfully, any one we have to explain. I have selected the first one, completely constrained motion. It means that when the motion between a pair is limited to a definite direction, irrespective of the direction of force is applied, then the motion is said to be completely constrained motion in a definite direction. For example, the piston and cylinder of a engine forms a pair and the motion of the piston is limited to a definite direction, that is it will reciprocate related to the cylinder. And the second example for this one is a square bar in a square hole, that is the square bar that slides in the square hole. We have only one type of motion. And the third example for this one is that is shaft and collars in a circular hole. We have only one type of motion, that is the turning of the shaft. Second question, define kinematic link, briefly explain its types. Link means each part of a machine which moves related to some other part is known as kinematic link. It is also known as simple link, or it is also known as element. A link, it should have a relative motion. A link, it must be a resistant body but not a rigid body. Rigid body, these are the two characteristics of kinematic link. There are three types of kinematic links. First one is rigid link, second one is flexible link, third one is a fluid link. A rigid link is one which does not undergo any deformation. For example, connecting rod, crankshaft, etc. Second link is a flexible link. A flexible link is one which is partly deformed in a manner not to affect the transmission of motion. For example, belt rope chain drives are the flexible links which transmit tensile forces only. Third one is a fluid link. A fluid link is one which is formed by having a fluid in a receptacle and the motion is transmitted through the fluid by pressure or compression only, as in case of hydraulic presses, hydraulic jacks, hydraulic brakes. Next question, define the following terms, structure and mechanism. A structure, it is an assemblage of number of resistant bodies known as members, and these are not having any relative motion between them, and these are meant for carrying loads, having straining action. Good examples for structure are a railway bridge, a roof truss, machine frames. Next, mechanism. When one of the link of a kinematic chain is fixed, the chain is known as a mechanism. It may be used for transmitting or transforming motion. For example, engine indicators, typewriters, etc. A mechanism with four links is known as simple mechanism, and the mechanism with more than four links is known as a compound mechanism. Next, question number 4, kinematic chain. Name the different types of kinematic chains. When the kinematic pairs are coupled in such a way that the last link is joined to the first link to transmit a definite motion or completely or successfully constrained motion, it is then called kinematic chain. Next types of kinematic chains are, the first one is 4-bar chain. It is also known as quadratic chain. Friends, in 4-bar chain all are turning pairs. Second one is a single slider crank chain. It is a modification of the 4-bar chain or improvement. The name itself indicates it consists of only one sliding pair, whereas three turning pairs. And the third one is a double slider crank mechanism. In a double slider crank mechanism, it consists of two turning pair and two sliding pairs. Next, question number 5. Define inversions of a mechanism. We know that when one of the link is fixed in a kinematic chain, then it is called a mechanism. So we can obtain as many mechanisms as the number of links in a kinematic chain by fixing in turn different links in a kinematic chain. This method of obtaining different mechanism by fixing different links in a kinematic chain is known as inversion of the mechanism. Next, understanding questions, and these questions carries 5 marks. First question is, explain kinematic chain, give its relation. When the kinematic pair are coupled in such a way that the last link is joined to the first link to transmit definite motion, that is completely or successfully constrained motion, then it is called a kinematic chain. In other words, a kinematic chain may be defined as a combination of kinematic pairs joined in such a way that each link forms a part of two pairs and the relative motion between the links or elements is completely or successfully constrained. For example, the crankshaft of an engine forms a kinematic pair with the bearings which are fixed in a pair. The connecting rod with the crank forms second kinematic pair. The piston with connecting rod forms a third pair, and the piston with the cylinder forms a fourth pair. The total combination of these links is a kinematic chain if each link is assumed to form two pairs with two adjacent lines. Therefore, the number of joints in a kinematic chain J is equal to 2p minus 4, where P is the kinematic pairs and J is the joint. Next question, explain the following terms. It is very important for your examination point of view for 10 marks. The first one is sliding pair, turning pair, screw pair, spherical pair, rolling pair. The first one is sliding pair. When the two elements of a pair are connected in such a way that one can only slide relative to the other, the pair is known as a sliding pair. For example, the piston and cylinder in a steam engine and tile stock on the lathe bed are the examples. A little consideration will show that a sliding pair has a completely constrained motion. Second one, turning pair. When the two elements of a pair are connected in such a way that one can only turn or revolve about a fixed axis of the another element, the pair is known as a turning pair. A shaft with collars at both the ends fitted into a circular hole. The crankshaft in a journal bearing in an engine. Lathe spindle supported in the headstock. Cycle wheels, motorbike wheels, turning over their axles are the examples of a turning pair. A turning pair also has a completely constrained motion. Third one, rolling pair. When the two elements of a pair are connected in such a way that one rolls over the another fixed element or fixed link, the pair is known as rolling pair. Example, balls and roller bearing are the examples. Fourth one, screw pair. When the two elements of a pair are connected in such a way that one element can turn about the other element by screw threads, the pair is known as a screw pair. For example, the lead screw of the lathe with the nut and bolt with the nut are the examples for screw pair. Next, fifth one, spherical pair. When the two elements of a pair are connected in such a way that one element with a spherical shape turns or swirls about the other fixed element, the pair formed is known as a spherical pair. For example, the ball and socket joint and the car mirror pen stand are the examples for this one. Next question, explain lower pair and higher pair. First of all, lower pair. When the two elements of a pair have surface contact, when relative motion takes place and the surface of the one element slides over the other surface of the other, the pair is known as lower pair. It will be seen in the sliding pair, turning pair and screw pairs. Next, higher pair. When the two elements of a pair have a line or point contact when relative motion takes place, and the motion between the two elements is partly turning and partly sliding, then the pair is known as higher pair. A pair of friction discs, toothed gearing, belt, rope, chain drives, and ball and roller bearings, cams and followers are the example for higher pair. Question number 4. Explain self-closed pair and force-closed pair. First, self-closed pair. When the two elements of a pair are connected together mechanically in such a way that one only a required kind of relative motion occurs, it is then known as self-closed pair. The lower pairs are self-closed pair. Second one, force-closed pair. When the two elements of a pair are not connected mechanically but are kept in contact by the action of the external forces, the pair is said to be force-closed pair. For example, cam and follower. Next, differentiate between machine and structure. The first difference is the part of a machine move relative to one another, whereas the members of a structure do not move relative to one another. This is the first difference. Second difference, a machine transforms the available energy into some useful work, whereas in a structure, no energy is transformed into useful work. Third one, the link of a machine may transmit both power and motion, whereas the members of a structure transmits forces only. These are the main difference between machine and structure. Next question, explain with a neat sketch completely constrained motion. We have already discussed this one in the question number 1. Second one, explain with a sketch 4-bar chain and mention its inventions. Here, figure shows a 4-bar chain. And friends, we know that the kinematic chain is the combination of 4 or more kinematic pairs such that the relative motion between the links or elements is completely constrained. The simplest and the basic kinematic chain is a 4-bar chain or quad. It is also known as a quadratic chain. This is as shown in the figure. The inversions of 4-bar chain are: first one is beam engine, second one is coupling rod of locomotive, third one is Watt's indicator mechanism. This is the animation of 4-bar chain. It consists of 4 links, one link which is fixed, the crank rotates about a fixed point, the crank is rotated to a connecting rod or coupler, and the coupling rod is connected to the another link. When the crank rotates, the last link that oscillates about a point. Next question: explain with sketch single slider crank chain and mention its inversion. Friends, single slider crank chain means it consists of only one sliding pair, whereas it consists of 3 turning pairs. Good example for this one is steam engine. A single slider crank chain is a modification of a basic 4-bar chain. It consists of one sliding pair and 3 turning pairs. It is usually found in a reciprocating steam engine. This type of mechanism converts rotary motion into reciprocating motion or reciprocating motion into rotary motion. In a single slider crank chain, that is as shown in the figure, the link 1 and 2, the links 1 and 2, links 2 and 3, and links 3 and 4 forms 3 turning pairs, whereas link 4 and link 1 forms a sliding pair. This is the animation of a single slider crank chain. This mechanism is used to convert rotary motion into reciprocating motion or reciprocating motion into rotary motion, and it consists of 3 turning pair and 1 sliding pair. Question number 4. Explain with sketch double slider crank chain and mention its inversions. Friends, a double slider, the name itself indicates that it consists of 2 sliding pair and 2 turning pairs. A kinematic chain which consists of 2 turning pair and 2 sliding pair is known as a double slider crank chain. This is as shown in the figure. In this mechanism, the link 2 and link 1 form one turning pair. Link 2 and link 3 form the second turning pair. Link 3 and link 4 form one sliding pair, and link 1 and link 4 forms the second sliding pair. The inversions of double slider crank mechanism: first one is elliptical trammel, second one is Scotch hook mechanism, third one is Woodham's coupling. This is the animation of a double slider crank mechanism. Friends, it consists of 2 turning pair and 2 sliding pair. Here the sliding blocks, it consists of 2 sliding blocks. These 2 slides in the respective slots, whereas these 2 sliding blocks are connected by means of a rod, and the rod with the respective blocks forms 2 turning pairs. Next question: explain with a neat sketch beam engine. Beam engine is also known as a crank and lever mechanism. and this mechanism is used to convert rotary motion into reciprocatory motion or reciprocatory motion into rotary motion. This is the inversion of 4-bar chain or quadric chain, and it consists of 4 links. In this mechanism, when the crank rotates about the fixed center A, the lever oscillates about the fixed center D. The end E of the lever CD is connected to a piston rod which reciprocates due to the rotation of crank. In other words, the purpose of this one is convert rotary motion into reciprocatory motion and reciprocatory motion into rotary motion. So here this is the animation of the beam engine. Rotary motion is converted into rotary motion, or rotary motion is converted into resonance. Explain with a neat sketch double crank mechanism. Double crank mechanism is also known as a coupling rod of a locomotive. Here this mechanism we can see in the railway engines, that is the railway engine that moves on the track, railway track. It has the same mechanism. The mechanism of a coupling rod of locomotive, which consists of 4 links as shown in the figure. In this mechanism, the links AD and BC are having equal in length. They act as crank and are connected to the respective wheels. The link CD acts as a coupling rod and the link AB is fixed in order to maintain a constant center to center distance between them. This mechanism is meant for transmitting rotary motion from one wheel to another wheel. So here this is the animation of coupling rod of locomotive. Next question. Explain with neat sketch bull engine. Friends, bull engine, it is also known as a pendulum pump. In this mechanism, the inversion is obtained by fixing the cylinder or link number 4 that forms a sliding pair as shown in the figure. In this case, when the crank link number 2 rotates, the connecting rod link number 3 oscillates about a pin pivoted to the fixed link 4 at A, and the piston attached to the piston rod link number 1 reciprocates. And this mechanism or bull engine, that is used in a duplex pump, which is used to supply feed water to the boilers. This is the animation of a bull engine or pendulum pump. Next question. Explain with a neat sketch crank and slotted lever quick return motion mechanism. Friends, crank and slotted lever mechanism, which is used in the shaping and slotting mechanism machines. In this mechanism, the link AC, that is link number 3, which is fixed, forming a turning pair as shown in the figure. The link 3 corresponds to the connecting rod of the reciprocating steam engine. The driving crank CB revolves with uniform angular speed about the fixed center C. A sliding block attached to the crank pin at B slides along the slotted bar AP so that it causes AP to oscillate about the pivoted point A. A short link PR transmits the motion from AP to the ram which carries the cutting tool and reciprocates along the line of stroke R1 and R2. The line of stroke of the ram is R1 and R2 is perpendicular to AC producer. The time ratio is time of cutting stroke to the time of return stroke is equal to beta divided by alpha. Figure is as shown in like this. This the animation of crank and slotted lever quick return motion mechanism. Why it is called quick return motion mechanism? Here the time taken for the cutting stroke is more than the time taken by the return stroke. That's why it is known as quick return motion mechanism. In the figure, the extreme positions AP1 and AP2 are tangential to the circle and the cutting tool is attached at the end of the stroke. The forward or cutting stroke occurs when the crank rotates from the position CB1 to CB2 through an angle beta in the clockwise direction. The return stroke occurs when the crank rotates from the position CB2 to CB1 or through an angle alpha in the clockwise direction, since the crank has a uniform angular speed. Next question, explain with a neat sketch elliptical trammel. Elliptical trammel, it is an instrument that is used for drawing ellipses. This inversion is obtained by fixing the slotted plate, that is link number 4 as shown in the figure. The fixed plate or link number 4 has two straight grooves cut in it at right angles to each other. The link 1 and link 3 are known as sliders and forms a sliding pair with link number 4 and 4. The link AB, that is link number 2, is a bar which forms a turning pair with link 1 and 3. When the link 1 and 3 slides along their respective grooves at any point on the link 2, such as P, traces out an ellipse on the surface of the link 4 as shown in the figure. A little consideration will show that AP and BP are the semi-major and semi-minor axis of an ellipse respectively. This is the inversion of double slider crank mechanism. Explain with a neat sketch Scotch yoke mechanism. Scotch yoke mechanism, it is the inversion of double slider crank mechanism, and this mechanism is used for converting rotary motion into reciprocating motion or reciprocating motion into rotary motion. The inversion is obtained by fixing either the link or link 3 as shown in the figure. The link 1 is fixed. In this mechanism, when the link 2, which corresponds to the crank, rotates about B as a center, the link 4, which corresponds to frame, that reciprocates. The fixed link 1 guides the frame. Friends, this is the animation of a double Scotch yoke mechanism. Explain with a neat sketch Oldham's coupling. Oldham's coupling, it is also the inversion of double slider crank mechanism. Double slider crank mechanism means it consists of two turning pair and two sliding pair. An Oldham's coupling is used for connecting two parallel shafts whose axes are at a small distance apart. The shafts are coupled in such a way that if one shaft rotates, the other shaft also rotates at the same speed. This inversion is obtained by fixing the link to, as shown in the figure. The shafts to be connected have two flanges, that is link 1 and 3, rigidly fastened at their ends by forging. This is the animation of Oldham's coupling.